On June 8, 1783, a volcanic fissure opened in Iceland. By late summer, the Nile was rising too slowly in Egypt. The people waiting beside it had never heard the name Laki. They could not know that the missing water might have begun with fire thousands of miles away.
It is still below 16.
Then read it again.
The river will not rise because I look at the mark twice.
At the southern end of Rauda Island, a stone staircase descends into a deep well connected to the Nile. This is the Nilometer. Water enters through tunnels and rises around a marble column marked in cubits, an old measure roughly the length of a forearm. 16 cubits mean that the canals can be opened and much of the farmland irrigated. The river has not reached them.
How much did it rise during the night?
Less than 1 finger.
And the night before?
2.
Then it is still rising.
A dying man still breathes. That does not mean he is recovering.
Do not put that in the report.
I put numbers in the report.
Numbers frighten people more efficiently than words.
Yusuf ibn Salim is 29 and works as a junior clerk at the Nilometer. He records the height of the river each morning and copies the measurement for officials in Cairo. Salih Aga has come to receive that measurement. He serves one of the Mamluk households that govern Egypt in the Ottoman Sultan's name. His task is to collect grain and taxes from the countryside.
What did the river measure on this date last year?
It had already passed 16.
Write that the final height has not yet been reached.
Has it not?
You are the man with the measuring rod.
And you are asking me?
I am asking whether you know the future.
Number.
Then do not declare the flood finished.
The canal should have been opened 3 days ago.
The canal will be opened when there is enough water to fill it.
People are waiting for the signal.
People are always waiting for something.
Every year, an embankment of earth blocks the canal that carries Nile water through Cairo. When the river reaches the proper height, the barrier is cut. Boats enter the canal, drums sound, and the city celebrates. This year, the barrier remains intact.
Yusuf.
You should not be down here.
Then you should have come up when I called.
Salih Aga, this is my sister Miriam.
I know who she is. She sells bread near Fustat.
I sold bread near Fustat. This morning I mostly explained why there was less of it.
What happened?
The flour merchant raised his price again.
Flour merchants do not require a reason.
This one had a reason. He said boats from the south were arriving half empty.
Merchants also sell rumours.
He did not sell me one. He sold me half the flour for more money.
How much remains?
Enough for tomorrow, if I make the loaves smaller.
Then make them smaller.
Should I tell the customers that the river ordered it?
Tell them the flood is late.
Is that what it is?
That is what has been announced.
Nothing has been announced. That is why everyone is listening to the merchants.
An official declaration of a poor flood would empty every grain shop in Cairo before sunset.
Then perhaps the grain is already gone.
No, it is only hidden from people who hear one bad number and buy enough food for 6 months.
People with enough money to do that will not be standing outside my oven tomorrow.
Miriam.
How far short is it?
I cannot discuss the measurement.
You discussed my flour.
That is different.
It is the same thing measured somewhere else.
Your brother understands the responsibility of his office.
My brother understands the responsibility of everyone's office. It is his own that confuses him.
Miriam climbs back towards the light. Yusuf watches her pass the final dry step. In a generous year, it would already be beneath the water.
She will tell people.
She does not know the measurement.
She knows your face.
Am I required to hide that too?
You are required to copy the report I give you.
The report I give you.
The number is yours. What it means belongs to men above both of us.
And if the water does not rise tomorrow?
Then tomorrow will have its own report.
At 16 cubits there is a harvest to tax. What do you collect below it?
What I am ordered to collect.
From dry fields?
From the same villages as last year.
They will not have the same grain.
Then they will explain that to the men who arrive for it.
When do we tell the city?
When the water rises.
And if it does not?
When there is no longer any profit in pretending that it might.
In late August, Mariam Nasser runs the bakery that once belonged to her father. Dawood Barakat usually delivers 5 sacks of flour every 4th morning. Today, he brings 3 and returns part of her payment.
Where are the other 2?
Still in the storehouse at Bulaq.
Bulaq is the river port north of Cairo, where grain arriving from the countryside is unloaded and stored.
I ordered 5 before the price changed.
The keeper would not honor the old price. He released 3 sacks and returned the rest of your money.
Did he have the flour?
I saw at least 20 sacks behind him. He said most of them had already been promised.
To whom?
He would not tell me. There were 3 other merchants waiting outside, and none of them received everything they had ordered.
3 sacks will last 2 days.
I can try another storehouse tomorrow.
At tomorrow's price.
Probably.
The flour is good. If I reduce the weight of each loaf, I can stretch it to a 3rd day.
People will accept smaller loaves if every bakery does the same.
Not every family can buy enough bread at the present weight.
Salih Aga enters, carrying the register in which he records market dues and violations of regulated weights. He has come to inspect Mariam's loaves, but stops when he sees the returned coins.
Has Dawood raised his price?
The storehouse raised it. Dawood brought what my money would still buy.
Which storehouse?
The 2nd yard beyond the Bulaq landing. The keeper said the remaining grain had been promised, but there were no carts collecting it.
Were the doors open?
Only long enough to bring out my sacks. Everything else remained inside.
I cannot accuse a man of withholding grain because his doors are closed. I can inspect his weights and compare his sales with the dues he declares.
If you go openly, the missing sacks will have buyers before you arrive.
Then you will take me there in your cart.
If the storehouse refuses to sell to me afterwards, I lose my trade.
If grain is being hidden, there may soon be no trade to lose.
Yusuf arrives from the Nilometer on Rauda Island. The water has risen since the previous morning, but not enough to approach the level needed to fill Cairo's irrigation canal.
Dawood could only bring 3 sacks.
Why?
Someone at Bulaq has decided that the river will fail before the measurement has been announced.
The flood has not ended.
How high is it?
Still below 16 cubits.
Did you call that through the streets?
Mustafa instructed me to announce only how much the water had risen since yesterday. He wants the total withheld until the evening measurement.
Then people hear that the river is rising, but not how far it remains below the mark.
If Yusuf announces a failed flood now, every household that can afford grain will try to buy it today. The storehouses will close before sunset.
One has already closed.
That is why I am going to Bulaq. We still have time to stop one rumor from becoming the price of every loaf in Cairo.
And what should I announce at noon? What you were instructed to announce.
Mustafa's words will not fill these sacks.
He told me to speak them. He did not give them to me in writing.
Mustafa is the clerk. His record remains at the Nilometer.
His record will show the measurement. It will not show what he ordered me to conceal.
Mariam begins weighing flour for the morning dough. She keeps the usual weight for each batch, knowing that the bakery will close early when the 3rd sack is empty.
I will not make the loaves smaller without telling the people why.
Then wait until I return from Bulaq.
I will return to Rauda. Mustafa can write down the words he wants me to announce and place his name beneath them.
And if he refuses?
Then at noon, Cairo will hear the measurement.
By the time Salah and Dawood reach the warehouse in Bulaq, its doors are barred. Fresh grain dust lies beneath them.
The keeper returned my money and said there was nothing left to sell.
How much was here yesterday?
More than 200 sacks.
The keeper opens only after Saleh threatens an official inspection. Inside, rows of grain sacks stand beneath the timber roof.
You will release 2 sacks to Dawood at the price entered in your register this morning. Another 6 will be offered to the neighborhood bakers.
He will raise the price as soon as you leave.
Then I will seal the door. A clerk can count what remains tomorrow.
As the sacks are weighed, Dawood notices that several are lighter than the quantities recorded in the register.
They have already begun removing grain.
Then we record what remains before more of it disappears.
At the Nilometer on Rauda Island, the river has risen by 1 finger, 1/24th of a cubit. It remains below 16 cubits, the height required before Cairo's principal canal can be opened.
You should begin the afternoon announcement.
First, write down what you instructed me to say.
The daily rise is enough. Announcing the full height will send people running to the grain markets.
The merchants already know the height. My sister received only 3 of the 5 sacks she was promised.
The measurement is written truthfully in this register.
A register helps only those permitted to read it.
If you announce the full measure, I cannot protect your position.
I asked you to sign the order, not protect me from it.
Yusuf begins his usual route through Cairo. In the first square, porters, shopkeepers and servants wait for the daily figure.
The Nile has risen by 1 finger since yesterday. It remains below 16 cubits, and the canal cannot yet be opened.
The square falls quiet. Then a grain seller closes his shutters. Several people hurry towards the markets. Before Yusuf reaches the next street, the number has travelled ahead of him. At Mariam's bakery, the last bread has already been sold. A crowd gathers outside as Dawood's cart arrives with the 2 released sacks.
There is no more bread today. This flour must still be weighed, ground and baked.
You gave them the full measurement.
Yes.
I forced 1 warehouse to release its grain. Your announcement may close every other door in Bulaq.
Those doors were closing before I spoke.
The argument will not fill the oven. Bring the sacks inside.
Mariam cuts open the first sack. The flour is coarse but usable.
Tomorrow we sell 1 loaf to each household until the shelves are empty. No one receives 2 while another family receives nothing.
The queue will begin before sunrise.
Then so will we.
By November, the Nile is falling. Its water never reached many of the fields beyond Cairo, and the grain already stored in the city has become more valuable each week. At Mariam's bakery, the queue now forms before sunrise.
1 loaf for each household. If you return later, there will not be another.
The loaves are smaller than they were in summer. Mariam weighs each portion of dough before placing it in the oven. Yusuf carries the finished bread to the counter.
There is enough flour for 1 more firing.
Then we finish what we have. We do not keep half a sack while people wait outside.
Dawood enters without a cart. Flour dust still marks his robe, but his hands are empty.
Where are the sacks?
The boats arriving from the south are carrying less grain. The warehouses will now sell only for silver, and the price changes before the bargain is finished.
I paid you 3 days ago.
I can return the money. I cannot buy with it what I promised then.
How long before another delivery?
I may find 1 sack tomorrow. After that, I cannot promise anything.
Salih arrives as Mariam places the final loaves in the oven. He waits until she closes its iron door before speaking to Yusuf.
The Nilometer office has appointed another crier. Your payment ended this morning.
Was the measurement I announced incorrect?
No. You were dismissed because you announced what you had been instructed to omit.
Then the office prefers an obedient voice to an accurate one.
The number was accurate. So was my warning. Grain prices rose across the city before sunset.
The warehouses were already closing.
Some were. Your announcement made every merchant fear that he would be the last man selling cheaply.
The river caused the shortage. Yusuf only told people how low it was.
I know. That does not mean his words had no consequences.
The smell of baked bread fills the room. Outside, the queue grows quiet as Mariam begins distributing the last batch.
Come to Bulaq tomorrow morning. I need men to count and unload whatever grain still arrives. The work is paid by the day.
And when no boats arrive?
Then there will be nothing to count.
Before noon, the shelves are empty. Mariam closes the shutters while Yusuf rakes the remaining coals together.
Should I leave the fire burning?
No, cover the embers with ash. If Dawood finds flour tomorrow, we can wake them again.
For the first time in years, Mariam's oven goes cold before sunset. Nearly a year has passed. Yusuf now works at the Bulaq docks, counting and unloading the grain that reaches Cairo. Mariam opens her bakery only when flour is available. Some weeks, the oven remains cold for several days. A boat arrives from Upper Egypt, carrying 12 sacks. The register issued at its departure lists 40.
Count them again before anything is unloaded.
There are 12. 3 have been opened and 2 are wet.
The villages kept what they could. After last year's harvest, farmers will not send grain north while their own families are hungry.
I need 2 sacks to open the bakery tomorrow.
There are 4 other bakers waiting. I can sell you one.
1 sack will keep the oven burning for a day.
Then 1 day is what I can offer.
Yusuf lowers the first sack onto the quay. The grain inside is mixed with husks and small stones.
This weighs less than the mark on the cloth.
They were filled before the journey. Some grain was taken at every village where the boat stopped.
Record the weight that arrived, not the weight someone claims to have sent.
Mustafa approaches from the market office, carrying the latest measurement from the Nileometer.
The river rose by 2 fingers this morning. It still remains below 16 cubits.
Is that the figure entered in the register?
Yes, the measurement was witnessed and signed.
Then announce the rise and the full height.
Last year, the office ordered us to withhold the total.
Last year, the warehouse owners knew the measurement before the people buying bread. We will not repeat that.
Mustafa leaves to prepare the proclamation. Yusuf watches him cross the quay.
A year ago, that announcement cost me my position.
And concealing it did not preserve the grain. I was wrong to believe that silence could keep the markets calm.
Will the truth help them now?
No, but it will prevent us from pretending that help is already on the way.
Salih orders the 12 sacks divided among the waiting bakers. Mariam pays for 1. When Yusuf lifts it onto her cart, loose grain falls through a split seam.
Bring me a needle and cord. We cannot lose another handful on the road.
Across Cairo, the new measurement is proclaimed. No one runs towards the warehouses as they did the previous year. Most people already know how little remains inside them.
Last year the river failed while the storehouses were full.
This year they are nearly empty.
Yusuf ties the repaired sack to Mariam's cart. Above the quay, the Nile continues to rise, but not enough. The second low flood has passed. Fields that survived the previous year have failed again, and families from the countryside arrive in Cairo looking for grain that the city no longer possesses. Mariam's oven has been cold for 6 days. Before sunrise, Salih and Mustafa arrive with Dawood and a cart carrying 2 sacks. People begin gathering outside before the sacks have been unloaded.
This is the release order from the market office. It has been signed and copied into the register.
Last year, no one wanted to place his name beneath an order.
Last year they feared responsibility for causing panic. This year they fear responsibility for grain that remains locked away.
These are the final sacks from the warehouse we inspected. Everything else has already been sold or removed.
The grain is mixed with barley and husks. It will not produce the bread Mariam made last year.
It does not need to look like last year's bread. It needs to hold together.
Yusuf carries the sacks inside, while Mariam clears the ash from the oven. Beneath it, a few embers are still alive.
I thought the fire would have died by now.
I covered it carefully. Starting again would require wood we cannot afford.
Dawood pours the grain onto the table. Mariam removes stones and darkened kernels, while Yusuf grinds what remains. The resulting flour is grey and coarse.
This is the last delivery I can arrange. The boats have stopped coming, and no merchant will extend credit against a harvest that may never arrive.
What will you do?
I will sell the cart and repay what I can. After that, I will look for the same work as everyone else.
There will be grain again when the river rises.
If the river rises.
Mariam adds more water than usual and works the dough until it becomes thin enough to stretch. The first loaves emerge flat, dark, and brittle at the edges.
The allotment was calculated for 60 households.
There are more than 60 people outside already.
Then each portion must be reduced.
They are already smaller than my hand.
If we distribute them by household, some families will receive enough for several people.
And those who arrive from the countryside will not appear on any household list.
Outside, the queue reaches the end of the street. Some have waited since the previous evening. Saleh looks at the written allotment and folds it closed.
1 loaf to each person present. We continue until there is nothing left.
That is not what the order specifies.
Then record that I changed it.
They may remove you from office.
They removed Yusuf for announcing a number. They can remove me for distributing what that number left us.
Mariam opens the shutters. Yusuf passes the loaves to Saleh, who distributes them one at a time. Dawood keeps the queue from pressing against the counter. Mustafa counts each loaf until the number in his register no longer matches the number of people waiting. The second firing produces fewer loaves. The third uses the last flour remaining on the table.
There are 17 people still outside.
There is no dough left.
There is no more grain on the cart.
I will direct them to the public oven near the market.
Does it still have flour?
I do not know.
Saleh steps outside to speak to those who remain. Some follow him towards the market. Others stay in front of the bakery, as though waiting might produce something Mariam has overlooked.
What should I enter for the final distribution?
Enter the number of loaves we made.
And the people who received nothing?
You counted them too.
Mustafa looks down at the unfinished line in his register. Then he adds the second number.
I should go before the market closes.
What can you still buy?
Nothing. But someone may know where work is needed tomorrow.
Dawood leaves with the empty cart. Mustafa follows Saleh towards the market. Yusuf begins clearing the flour from the table, while Mariam covers the remaining embers with ash.
There will be nothing to bake tomorrow.
The fire costs less to preserve than it does to rebuild.
The Nilometer records survive. The flood of 1783 was the lowest measured between 1737 and 1800. The flood of 1784 was the third lowest. 2 successive failures exhausted reserves that might have carried Egypt through a single bad year. Modern climate studies connect those failures to the Laki eruption. Volcanic aerosols altered atmospheric circulation and weakened the African monsoon, reducing the summer rains that fed the Nile. Laki did not create unequal access to grain, rising prices, or administrative failure. It placed each of them under greater pressure. In Iceland, the disaster emerged from the earth. In Le Havre, it arrived as bitter air. In Egypt, it appeared as water that never came. Neither Etienne and Madeleine, nor Yusuf and Mariam would ever hear the name Laki. The eruption ended in February 1784. Its consequences did not.